What's something that's not a cult but feels like a cult? The Herbalife organization. They were charged with being a pyramid scheme, but they still operate in a similar way. There are several people I grew up with who became hooked on it, and they definitely act like they're in a cult. Some workplaces. The ones that push the "we're all family here" attitude especially. Marching band. If you know, you know. One thing that still blows my mind to this day is that people pay thousands of dollars to be in drum corps bands. So many questions when I first learned about it. Oh, so it's like being in an orchestra where it's your job to play and be the best in the world? Nope, you pay them actually. Oh well, at least you'll be basically famous or at least really well known for playing that instrument. Nope. The only people who even know the name of your corps or even what drum and bugle corps is in general are other corps members, their family, or high school marching band kids and their teachers. MLMs, but especially Mary Kay. I went to a convention once as the guest of a consultant because she was trying to get me to join. It was very Stepford. Also, she didn't tell me you were expected to dress up, so I showed up in jeans and a hoodie. High school clubs where you spend a lot of time together. Marching band and theatre are the ones that come to mind for me. Working for a non-profit. They tend to refer to employees as a family working for a cause, which wouldn't be culty on its own. But they definitely use it to manipulate employees to work themselves half to death and set a culture where boundaries are thought of as not being invested in the mission. They also use your passion for the mission to justify working you harder, paying you less. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my job and what I get to do. But I'm old enough to see what's been done to me over the years. The rotating door of young employees who are worked to burnout and replaced, though, I feel bad for. It's a hard lesson to learn. Some families. If you're inside the family, you are accepted no matter what and you don't question anything. If you're outside the family, you are treated politely but don't really matter much unless you act as part of the family. If you were part of the family, but betray them, you are excommunicated and they spread lies about you. Whenever my wife and I see signs in people's houses that say something like, "This is a happy family," or "This family lives, laughs, and loves," we like to call it household propaganda. We tend to picture those families the way you describe here. Some fandoms. Especially K-pop fandoms. My Little Pony, too. I watched that show for a couple seasons back in the day, after wondering why several of my friends were hyping it up, including one that really surprised me by liking the show. Friendship is Magic. Pretty good show. Quite funny. Took a peek or two or three into the fandom, though, and Jesus Christ. It was very well, no wonder people who watch the show have a bad reputation. Goddamn. The Order of the Arrow in the Boy Scouts. Technically an approved organization, but it's cultish as hell. It's funny, because they make you do this big induction camp out, and the day after I got back from mine, my English teacher gave a lecture on how to identify a cult, and it hit a lot of red flags. Curly girl method groups. Flatiron, jail. Hair dye, jail. Sulfates, you right to jail. Silicones, right to jail, right away. No deep conditioning, believe it or not, jail. We have the best hair in the world because of jail. Forced school songs that talk about being a part of the school forever. Multi-level marketing. I recently had a conversation with one of my friends who's obsessed with being a girl boss, so she joins all these pyramid schemes all the time. I just joined blah blah, I already forgot the name. Me, what is that? It's a company that does multi-level marketing. It's so great, you should see how much money the people at the top have, they basically became millionaires in a couple of years. Me, you joined another pyramid scheme? Omgit is not a pyramid scheme, it's an MLM. People get those two confused all the time. MLMs are serious, this is a real business and it makes lots of money. They taught us all about the difference between MLMs and pyramid schemes during orientation. I hate that people don't get the difference. Sigh. Peloton. Seriously. My dad hasn't stopped talking about his since getting it a year ago and went so far as to buy me one for Christmas this year. Which is super generous and my fat ass will totally benefit, but feels like I'm being indoctrinated into something. The instructors are really intense and say culty things. I think the idea is to physically torture you to the point that you don't notice you're being programmed to spread Peloton gospel to anyone who will listen. I've been so bored that joining a cult where I get hotter sounds okay though. Flat Earth Society. Their inability to understand that the Earth is not flat baffles me to oblivion. Eating disorders and any pro-eating disorder sites. Those who have an eating disorder often view their disorder as their best friend, giving them names like Anna and Mia. And then there are those sites to make it worse. They treat eating disorders like they are sacred and often post rules in a cultish way. One site I used to visit in my dark days even had the 10 Commandments of Anna. Now if that doesn't sound cultish-eyed, what does? Don't even make me start about the weight loss coaches on there. Politics, lately. Yay, people that go super hard for politicians are super culty lol. Salesforce. No, I don't want to build a community, go hiking or join 100 online classes to learn the basics. Make a couple of well-explained, to the point training videos FFS. Diet culture. Keto. Paleo. Dash. Disney. If you've ever known anyone who has worked at Disneyland, they will talk your ear off about how it's the happiest place on earth and how lucky they are to work there. Well, pre-pandemic. Beachbody, especially the coaches. Working at Amazon. Hell, just interviewing with Amazon feels like an initiation with all the leadership principles and whatnot. Keto. Did you know that you can make mac and cheese but with cauliflower? And you can make mashed potatoes but with cauliflower? And you can make fried rice but with cauliflower? People who worship politicians like they will magically solve everything. I'm talking both far right and far left. Thank you for watching. If you like the video and want more content like this, feel free to like and subscribe and comment below.